Alright, so I've never used a monitor light before. I mean, I've seen them all over desk setup videos and I always thought they look cool, but I honestly never knew if they were actually useful or if it's just another accessory to make your setup look expensive. So today, I'm trying the Quntis LED ScreenLinear lamp as a complete beginner to see if it makes a difference, and by the end of this video, I'll let you know if I think it's actually worth buying or something you can totally skip. Before this, my desk lighting setup was pretty simple. Usually, I'm just relying on the room lights, maybe a lamp sometimes, and at night, my desk area can feel a little dim even though the monitor itself is bright, and that's the kind of thing I wanted to test out with this. So if you're someone who has also never used one before, this review is basically for you. The Quntis light bar actually looks pretty clean right away, and it has that simple minimal desk setup look which I like. Inside the box, you get the light bar itself, the mounting piece and the cable. Everything feels pretty lightweight but not cheap. You also get the controller which is powered by a battery, and they also added the battery in the box, and it doesn't feel like some random plastic accessory that's going to fall apart in a week. As someone new to monitor lights, I was honestly hoping the setup wouldn't be annoying, because sometimes these simple desk accessories end up taking way more effort than they should. Setting it up was actually easier than I expected. You basically place it on top of the monitor, adjust the mount so it sits in place, and plug it in. And I think this part matters a lot, because if you've never owned a monitor light bar before, you don't want something that feels complicated or stressful right away. One thing I was paying attention to was whether it felt secure on the monitor, and thankfully it didn't feel like it was about to slide off or wobble around all the time. Now obviously this can depend on your monitor shape and thickness, but on my setup it was pretty quick and painless. Now for the part I was actually curious about, what happens when you turn it on, and this was the moment I started to realize why people use these things. As soon as I turned it on, it lit up the area in front of the screen without blasting lights everywhere, and that actually made the setup feel more focused and more comfortable, especially in a darker room. And that was the first thing I noticed about the monitor light. It's more about lighting your desk space and making it nicer and easier to use. So after the first impression, I wanted to see how it actually felt during normal use. For working or typing, I immediately noticed that it was easier to see everything on my desk without needing a separate lamp. If you write notes, use your keyboard a lot, or just like having the desk area visible at night, this makes a lot of sense. A regular lamp can also be used to light up your space, but this feels more direct and intentional, and that's probably one of the best things about it. It adds light where you actually need it. I also paid attention to whether it caused glare or reflections on the screen, because that would honestly ruin the whole point for me, and it felt like the light was aimed at the desk area, not right into my eyes, which was perfect. Now I would definitely say this instantly changed my whole setup vibe, and it also made my desk feel more usable at night, and that's something I didn't fully expect before trying it. So if you are wondering if you would actually notice a difference, I would definitely say yes, especially in the evening or in a dim room. One thing I like about this light bar is that you can control it directly from the top of the bar itself. You can turn it on and off, adjust the brightness, and change the color temperature depending on how you want the lighting to look. But honestly, the controller is what makes the most sense to use day to day, because it's just way more convenient. Instead of reaching up to the top of your monitor every time you want to make an adjustment, you can just use the controller from your desk, which feels a lot easier and more practical. It is also battery powered, which is nice because you don't have to deal with another wire on your desk just for the controls. So overall, I think the extra controller makes a bigger difference than you'd expect, just because it makes the adjusting the light quick and effortless. And I think convenience is a big part of why this has become something I use all the time. At first, I thought this would be one of those accessories that I would only turn on once in a while, maybe at night, and then forget about it during the day. But ever since I started using it, I hardly ever turn it off. even during the day, because it's just that convenient and it makes my setup feel better. Biggest thing for me though has been comfort. Since I started using it, I haven't really been dealing with the same eye strain I used to have before, and that alone has made a huge difference. It has also made a really noticeable change in my setup, so instead of feeling like some optional extra or just a nice desk accessory, it has honestly become something I would consider a must-have now. So as someone who had never used the monitor light bar before, I honestly thought it was mostly for aesthetics or for people who are super into desk setups. But after using the Quntis monitor light bar, I think I finally get the point, because this is really practical, especially if you study, game, edit, or just spend a lot of time at your desk at night. So that's my review on the Quntis monitor light bar. If you've never used the monitor light bar before, I hope this gave you helpful insight on what it's like and if it's actually worth it for your setup. And if you already have one, let me know in the comments if you think it's a must-have or just a nice extra.